Today on Screen Selections, we look at 5 must-see sci-fi movies in 2024. Some of the movies that made today's list have already been released, while a few are forthcoming. We're going to break all of that down for you today in this video. This year has given us some great selections for science fiction lovers like me. Narrowing the list down to 5 proved to be a challenge, as sci-fi entries such as Furiosa, A Mad Max Saga, Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire, and A Quiet Place, Day One, did not make today's list. But they could certainly be worth a watch. We will continue to create content like this where you can find movies and shows to watch with up-to-date information. So don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell. Now, let's get to today's list.
Don't care what you believe, I believe. I am Paul Muad'Dib Atreides.
The first must-watch science fiction movie of 2024 is arguably the best one for many, and that is Denis Villeneuve's Dune Part 2. The sequel to 2021's Dune Part 1 had a budget of $190 million and brought in over $710 million at the global box office. The second act also has a star-studded cast featuring Timothée Chalamet, Zendaya, Rebecca Ferguson, Javier Bardem, Stellan Skarsgård, Josh Brolin, and with Austin Butler, Florence Pugh, and Christopher Walken new to the series. The film picks up right where the 2021's Dune Part 1 left off, as Paul Atreides solidifies his position among the Fremen on Arrakis. Adopting the names Usul and Muad'Dib, he falls in love with Shani and becomes a skilled fighter, leading raids against the Harkonnen spice operations. Lady Jessica, his mother, now the Reverend Mother, and Paul strive to unite the Fremen and fulfill the prophecy of bringing prosperity to Arrakis. One of the highlights of the film is when Paul drinks the water of life, gaining enhanced clairvoyance and foreseeing the singular path to victory. He declares himself the prophesied Lisan al-Gaib, rallying the Fremen for an assault against the Emperor's forces. This is one of my favorite moments in the history of the genre. Timothée Chalamet absolutely killed it in the final sequence of this film. In the film's final act, Paul challenges the Emperor for the throne and demands to marry the princess to legitimize his rule, threatening to destroy the spice fields if the great houses were to intervene. After defeating Feyd-Rautha in a great fight, Paul forces the Emperor to surrender. The great houses oppose Paul's ascendancy, but he orders the Fremen to attack their orbiting fleet, solidifying his control. As Paul prepares for his new role, Jessica and Aaliyah reflect on the beginning of his prophesied holy war. Meanwhile, Shani, refusing to submit to Paul's authority, departs alone on a sandworm. And that's how the movie ends. As soon as the credits begin to roll, I knew that I had just watched one of my all-time favorite sequels. And the film was so good, I found myself returning to the cinema to watch it again. This movie is top-notch science fiction on an epic scale. I can already tell you that I will be at the premiere for Dune Part 3 with bells on.
To survive, remember your strength.
The next movie on our list is being played at your local cinema right now, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Currently, the movie scores an 81% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes. The franchise has moved into a story that goes beyond the lead protagonist of the first 3 films. I was a little skeptical going into it for that reason, but I gotta say, the movie was a treat. Set several generations after the death of Caesar, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes was written by Josh Friedman and directed by Wes Ball. The 4th film in the modern take of the franchise takes place 3 centuries since the last installment. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes follows a new chimpanzee, Noah, and the human May, as they embark on a journey that will determine the future of the planet for both of their kinds. The movie had a budget of over $160 million and has already brought in $240 million in the first couple of weeks. If you've ever been a fan of the Planet of the Apes franchise, this movie may be worth you checking out.
What's happening right now?
I'm expelling the excess lead. I can't go if you're looking at me.
On August 9th, 2024, many will show up to see the premiere of Borderlands. I'm sure most of you are aware that Borderlands is a popular series of action role-playing first-person shooter video games developed by Gearbox Software and published by 2K Games. I've been through the first 3 games myself, and they're iconic. The series is set at a science fiction universe on the planet Pandora, known for its lawless post-apocalyptic environment and treasure-filled vaults. The movie will follow Lilith, played by Cate Blanchett, who is an infamous bounty hunter with a mysterious past. as she reluctantly returns to her home Pandora, the most chaotic planet in the galaxy. Her mission is to find the missing daughter of Atlas, the universe's most powerful piece of crap. Lilith forms an unexpected alliance with a ragtag team of misfits, with Roland, played by Kevin Hart, and Tiny Tina, played by Ariana Greenblatt, among others. The film is certain to be outrageous, just like the video games. The movie had a $100 million budget. Borderlands hits the silver screen on August 9th and is being distributed by Lionsgate Films.
Step aside, bitches!
You're gonna tell me exactly.
Some people like a side of scare or horror with their science fiction, and Alien Romulus seems prepped and ready to deliver. The 7th installment in the Alien franchise is set between the events of 1979's Alien and 1986's sequel, Aliens. Alien Romulus is being directed by Fede Alvarez and has worked closely with the inaugural director of the franchise, Sir Ridley Scott. Alien Romulus was originally scheduled to be released on Hulu, but was switched to a theatrical release right before filming commenced. The official synopsis reads, young people on a distant world find themselves confronting the most terrifying life form in the universe. The film stars Isabella Merced, Kaylee Spaney, Archie Renault, David Johnson, Spike Fern, and Eileen Wu. Many fans of the franchise are hopeful for a return to form for the iconic franchise. This entry in the franchise had a budget of $40 million as the team focused on using more practical effects. The original Alien movie had a budget of $11 million in 1979 and generated $104 million globally. Alien Romulus premieres on August 16th, 2024. Before we get to the final sci-fi pick on today's list, I wanted to thank you for being here and checking out today's video. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love for you to choose Screen Selections as a virtual new home. Now, on to our final selection.
Basically is a utopia.
The great Francis Ford Coppola returns to the director's chair with his latest movie, Megalopolis. The legendary filmmaker of such hits as The Godfather Trilogy, Apocalypse Now, and Bram Stoker's Dracula recently celebrated his 85th birthday. Megalopolis recently premiered at Cannes on May 16th, but it's not known yet when the wider release will happen. According to Deadline, the current plan is for the movie to be released later in 2024 with a limited IMAX release. Industry insiders and scoopers have reported that sometime in September is most likely. Megalopolis focuses on the aftermath of a disaster that devastates New York City, destroying its urban infrastructure. Amid the chaos, an architect is determined to defy the odds and rebuild the city as a utopia. The movie truly is Coppola's brainchild, as he doubled as both screenwriter and director. Also, the movie has already made history due to Coppola completely financing the film's $120 million budget himself. Early critics are saying that the movie is absurdly bad, but as we often find out, the audience may not see the movie how the critics do. This movie could be a sleeper later on in 2024. That's it for the top 5 science fiction movies of 2024. Let us know in the comments what you were going to pick and if we left anything off. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you for having us on your screen and good luck with your selections. And I'll see you next time on Screen Selections.